Shalom Yashua Shalom. Kahalon Allah Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shabbat Shem Rachakodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders, a great millstone, peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. All right. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the big wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. And this is what you see going on this earth right now. All right. There's been a lot of talk, about the Maui fires, and here's just more. Maybe you've seen it, heard it, or whatever. Maybe not. But we're gonna play. We're probably gonna just record and try to grab bits and pieces here and there. Try to avoid a copyright strike, because I'm not sure. Because this is from Brighton News, so we'll probably have to chop this up. But as for now, we're gonna play it. Just go straight out. All right.
Okay, so what the hell is going on in Maui? I mean, it's been close to 2 weeks now since this wildfire started that destroyed the historic city of Lahaina. Even now, the government has kept the death toll down just above 100, which raises the question, is this government capable, or are they willing to, or might they be hiding something, because about 1,000 people are still missing? Observers on the ground have reported seeing far more than just 100 body bags getting used. We may well be dealing with a 9/11 scale tragedy with thousands of people dead. Hundreds of them might be children who were home alone because schools were closed. No one was there to save them as a fire swept through the city. No sound of a warning siren or alarm. And there's a whole lot more questions. We still don't know what caused the fire. A lot of people are mystified. Hey, why did so many homes and properties of the wealthy and powerful survive the fire with no damage? That seems really weird, doesn't it? Some people have suggested this means that there was a conspiracy by the rich to start a fire using direct energy weapons. But there are more mundane possibilities that are still plenty sinister. For instance, there's reports that the rich and connected on Maui were given more liberal access to supplies of water. They were allowed to water their properties while normal people were shut out, meaning that their properties were fire resistant while everyone else's went up like kindling. And then there's the incompetent way that relief has been handled, which ought to be compared directly to the bungling after Hurricane Katrina, but never will be, of course, because now there's a Democrat in the White House, allegedly. Junya Nakoa is a Maui resident. He's an activist for Hawaiian culture. He was on the island of Oahu when the fire began. He immediately set off as part of a literal armada of ships carrying supplies of food and gas and more to assist the stricken residents of Maui. But Junya and his friends were there far ahead of Hawaii's incompetent state agencies or the federal government's sinister self-interested ones. And in fact, according to local reports, the main purpose of FEMA has been to hinder and get in the way of local relief efforts. In fact, FEMA has even turned away boats and ships carrying essential medical supplies like insulin that diabetics need just to live, to survive. It's time that we dug deeper into this topic, and to that end, Junya Nakoa joins us now live from Maui. Thank you so much for coming. We appreciate you being here. Can you describe for us what you're seeing on the ground?
I'm seeing our local community come together and unite to help all the people in need, and with very minimal support from our government here on Maui.
Why do you think that the government is so apprehensive about supporting?
You got me in that one, because we have outpouring support from the other islands, Oahu, Lanai, Molokai, Big Island, and this is all from local resources, not governmental. And we are a lot of red tape we had to get through. A couple of our boats that from Oahu got blocked by the Coast Guard and said, they couldn't come to help us on Maui. But we got another local boat who just, who got around the red tape, and we ended up bringing almost 8,000 pounds of supplies from Oahu.
So did the Coast Guard have a reason why they blocked this boat that was filled with aid and resources and help?
No reason at all. They just told that boat that they couldn't leave their slip. They had to stay there. So we, took another hour to find another boat willing to come. And actually, they've been here like 4 times. And this boat trip is not short. It's between 10 to 15 hours just in the middle of the channel between the islands.
So they stopped this boat before it even left its slip? They held them captive?
Yeah. Hey, hello. Yeah. And so...
I mean, that's criminal. That's a crime. You can't stop or impede the movement of American citizens. I mean, based on what?
And that's the fight that we've been having for years and years and years. And that's what makes me driven to fight America. I'm sorry, but I gotta say it. We can't. We always gotta fight. We gotta, again, $1 million developer, people from the mainland come here, they can build. They got the green tape to go ahead and just develop. Then you got locals like us who takes 2 years to get a permit. Red tape.
Man, I wanted it to keep playing. I'm gonna let it keep playing, but come on, man. This is what we've been feeling all these years with the Israelites. All right, you have these foreigners, these other nations coming here. You got Moab coming, Ammon coming. You got the Ishmaelites coming, setting up shops, setting up stores in our neighborhood, benefiting, profiting off the backs of the Israelites, and we can barely open a mom and pop store. You see? See, the tables are starting. Now, I'm pretty sure there were also Israelites there, but I'm just speaking in a general sense, dealing with these heathens. The tables are slowly turning on them. All right, and it's the Lord that's orchestrating all of this, slowly but surely, man. We're living in such a wonderful time period, man. But we're moving into the most gruesome time period that has ever been, known as Jacob's trouble, Jeremiah 30. All right, and 7. All right, and I mean, at the end, the very end of those days, he even says that Michael the archangel is going to have to stand up. So it tells you how, just how, dire the situations will be for everyone, even the, the hopeful elect, the remnant. All right. Though, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shah, will be covered and protected in those days. We're even going to have to face some tragic times. But I mean, it has to be that way. Else the scriptures would be, the Lord would be a lie. And he's not. All right. Through much tribulation must you enter to the kingdom of heaven. All right. But it is promised to us. Luke 12:32. Fear not, little flock. And that little flock is the hopeful elect remnant. Fear not, little flock. It is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. Let's play this video.
Red tape. Just to let you know about a school. I am working on building a temporary housing for the displaced families while we rebuild their permanent homes here in Lahaina the way they want it. Not the way America, not the way the governor, not the way our mayor wants it, the way we like it. We want to bring back the culture, the history, the genuine part of Lahaina, what makes Lahaina, Lahaina.
Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about what I was talking about before you joined me here, about the cause of all of this. So here we have...
Let me pause it real quick before he talk about whatever he's talking about. Because this dude, buddy right here is talking about building up the way that we want to build and, so on and so forth. All right? The build that makes Lahaina, Lahaina, But, and then I couldn't find it when I was, because how sometimes you click off and you go back and something's just gone. But it talks about the World Economic Forum, pretty much. And I'm not going to say it was flat out like it was 100%, but, is the article or, another video like this. But, I can't remember exactly how it was headlined at the title, or something about the World Economic Forum, whatever, something about Maui to make it a 15-minute city. And it says something else about I forgot exactly how it was worded, but it basically ended in talking about building back better. All right, but you see the two sides to this particular story right here. The people of Lahaina wanting to build Lahaina back how Lahaina was, but then you got the World Economic Forum stepping in talking about we're going to build back better. What's better for you? Well, according to your agenda, better would be a 15-minute city. All right, so there's the two sides. But once again, everything is orchestrated by the Lord. All right, so whatever the Lord wants, that's what's going to happen. If He wants the Lahainans to build back like Lahaina, He's going to do that. If He wants the World Economic Forum to build a 15-minute city, He's going to do that. And if He wants neither one of them to do so, or something entirely different, the Lord's going to do that. It's just a matter of sitting and waiting, and most importantly, watching to see what it is that the Lord's going to do next, because He hasn't stopped working yet. He's working on a high level. He's going to work on an even higher level, man. The people of America just, they're asleep, man. The zombies out here. All right. What is it? Zephaniah 3:5. The just Lord, every morning, He bringeth judgments to light. Just roughly paraphrasing. Beautiful verse. All right, but let's continue with this video here. See what else they're talking about.
An entire island on fire. Now another island, by the way. In many cases, only the homes are destroyed. The beautiful landscape around these properties, all of the trees, they remain untouched. Fireballs are rolling across the pavement. We've never seen a fire like that. The ocean is on fire. Rich elites are looking to purchase these properties that residents were previously unlikely to sell.
Boom.
And as evidenced by this COVID-19 and these deadly injections in January 6th in East Palestine, Ohio, and so much more, we now know that we live under this murderous regime, a corporate crime syndicate, an empire of lies, willing to kill people. From where I said these fires were not wild, they were anything but wild, but they were direct energy weapon attacks. Do you agree with that?
Did it get cut off?
I 100% agree with it. Like you said, we got all these years we've been trying to get our waters back into our streams so we can go ahead and have our island green. But because of these rich people, they direct all of our waters outside of the streams for development. And while this is all happening, they tell the local people, we have to turn off our water. We can't wash our cars. We can't water our yards. And in that aspect, it's dry. That the whole part of all the locals, it was so dry that Lahaina burned like that quick. But the rich houses, where they can use all the water in the world for their golf courses and pools and all of that, while we gotta suffer. So now with this fire happening, wildfires, the local homes is the one that got affected. These $1 million homes, zero, no effect.
And this, meanwhile, this illegitimate pedophile in the White House, allegedly in the White House, the fake President Joe Biden, he's gonna give everybody who lost everything, their entire home, their entire existence. A lot of them, their own family members, including children, he's going to give them $700. While meanwhile, we're sending hundreds of billions to Ukraine. Can you explain that?
That is one slap in our face. Way more than $700. Way more than $700 worth of their money, hardworking, and so I'm pissed off.
Yeah, it is a slap in the face. That's exactly what it is. And meanwhile, on the island, some are now holding a rally, a fundraising effort for Ukraine. Rather than a fundraising effort to help your brothers and sisters that are over there losing everything, including their children who were trapped inside of their homes because no warning alarms went off.
Yeah, 100%. Like you said, the sirens that they do a practice run every first day of the month, okay? But where was it during this fire? To get people out of their houses, get people to leave their workplace in Front Street and not have to jump into the water just to get away from the fires. A lot of them, I don't know how many, 200-some people just jumped in the water right on Front Street because that's the only escape they could do.
And nobody came to help them. Nobody from our fake government came to help them. None of the cops went to help them. The firefighters, by the way, I don't know if this is proper firefighting protocol, but what we're understanding is that a lot of the firefighters just walked away from this. They just walked away. Oh, it's under control, it's contained, and they walked away. I mean, I learned at a very young age, you douse a fire completely, especially when there are dry conditions and high winds. You douse the thing completely and you stay there until it's totally out, but they left it smoldering and walked away from it. I mean, what kind of firefighting ability is that?
Again, a lot of these firefighters lost their homes too. So it's not there's a whole picture of the firefighters, because again, the locals went fight hard for protect their home. But like you said, and I said, it was so dry that you gotta make sure we've been saying it for years. It's so dry that you gotta make sure it's done. Like really, like no smoldering, no ashes, no nothing. We gotta make sure, right?
Well, I'm just gonna say it. I'm just gonna say it, Junya, because you seem to be just a very good-hearted person, and I'm just gonna say that I think that the intention here by the fake government is to displace you. And it's to displace everybody else who gets by paycheck to paycheck while being criminally ripped off by this fake government every single day. They want to displace you, take everything away from you so that you're forced to sell your properties to the rich and the elite, and so that they can turn the rest of the city after all of these pedophiles and all of these Hollywood people come in and they try to scoop up this property. Oprah Winfrey, people like this, they can then turn what remains into a smart city. And that Maui will turn into a 15-minute city filled with all kinds of dystopian technology. Everything will be within a 15-minute walk of your house. You can live in your pod, you can eat your bugs, you can own nothing, and you can be happy.
And we went recently about into some articles dealing with pretty much everything he just said, right? And one of those things I keep reiterating is in one of those articles I went through, and I believe it was Carl Schwab or you all know one of those devils, Coin, aka Pepe Pew, one of those devils, in the article, and it was so crazy because they also wrote it in the article in bold, but they said that we're gonna come in like a tsunami. All right, Isaiah 59:19. All right, well, your enemy is going to come in like a flood. Why would they say it's so bold? But these people have a God complex. They're starting to lose their minds, really. You may not be able to tell, but they're starting to lose their minds because they see that Revelation 12:12, which I always mention when I mention Isaiah 59:19 or Revelation 12:12, vice versa. I always mention those verses together because your enemies are going to come down with great wrath, and you're noticing the things that they're doing, and before the government would be so quick to do something like they spoke about, for example, he spoke on 9/11, right? He said it was a 9/11 like disaster, whatever it was he said. Okay, so back in which not like it was a time like a long time ago, but I'm saying like back in those time periods, it was so quick for the government to do a certain disaster, which they ultimately take their orders from the banking families. But I'm speaking in the general sense. They were so quick to do a disaster and then lie or hide, whatever the case may be, whatever it was necessary for them to lie or hide about. Now these devils are still doing the same tactics, but they're not hiding it as much now. All right. And then you have, bits and pieces of information coming and threading these situations together more thoroughly. But once again, Revelation 12:12, the enemy is going to come down with great wrath, knowing he have what? A short amount of time to do what? Finish off his rulership in his kingdom. All right, meaning whatever is the high point of this revived Roman Empire, they have a short amount of time to pull that off, and the Lord is going to allow them to do it. Else there will never be a microchip because that's their way into pulling it off. The RFID microchip spoken about in Revelation chapter 13, verse 16 and 17. All right. That is their ultimate pinnacle to pull off the microchip. The robotic technology, the smart cities, all these different things and devices. These things are minimal compared to, the microchip itself. Because that's the ultimate goal. That's the ultimate key to get everybody to take the microchip, because that is the control factor. All right. Once that happens, they have achieved their God complex thought patterns. All right. But like it says in 2 Thessalonians 2 and 4, this is what they want to do. Exalt themselves above the Lord. They build a physical third temple so they can sit in the temple of the Lord. All right. And they made out even pull up some kind of fake holographic or deep fake Messiah or whatever. Because these devils are trying to call themselves the gods. All right. Just like the Greeks and the Romans did. Making themselves gods and then eventually want to call themselves gods. Then exalt themselves over the gods. All right. This is no different. They're reiterating history, like the apostle was going into earlier. What I don't know if it was earlier, but not too long ago I had the chance to watch that video. But going into the particular scripture in Ecclesiastes where it says nothing new is under the sun. All right, there is nothing new under the sun. These devils are everything has been reincarnated. The people, certain nations or kingdoms, I should say, not nations, kingdoms. Certain situations, so on and so forth. All right, but these things are all playing out, and it's all part of prophecy, and they have to be this way. All right, they must needs be in order for the kingdom of heaven to be established. So let's continue, because I had so much that I wanted to say there, and I just kind of went off in separate ways. So instead of me blabbing, we'll just go ahead and finish this because it was only like right here 14.5-minute video, but we'll just continue.
Happy. And that's what they're trying to do in Hawaii. And when it works there, they're going to do it elsewhere as well.
Well, yeah.
Oh, but yeah, because I did mention that before I move on, because he just reminded me when he's talking about what he just said, working when it works there in Hawaii, they can try it elsewhere. Well, newsflash, buddy, Hawaii wouldn't even be the first place. Because I went into an article recently when I was doing the various articles. I forget where it was, but it was somewhere, in the east. I mean, east as in across the seas, across the waters, all right, in the old lands, all right, where they're starting to slowly put up this technology, and I forget what city it was, all right. So you just have to, if you're interested, you have to go back through, various articles. I'll usually bring out, some different articles that always have, some useful bits and pieces of information, and every now and then we'll find articles that link up with prophecy. But yeah. Maui would not be the first place. Okay, there's somewhere and even speaking of this digital technology, that wouldn't be the America wouldn't be the first, because China is very heavily immersed into that digital technology world. That they got this universal basic income and all this other stuff going on. Then there's another city where they're trying to transform into a smart city, not in China but elsewhere. I was just speaking about across seas. So Maui would not be the first, but I mean, this could be, if all that is true about trying to use Maui as a 15-minute city, this would be the first test run this close to home, as in this close to America. All right? Because that's right there. All right? It's right there. Okay? You talk about, talks of FEMA camps and things of that nature, and, rounding people up. I mean, they could very well, there's so many different ways. I don't want to get into all, because there's so many different ways that you can because it doesn't mean any of it is true. And, it's just, thoughts that keep your mind, preoccupied in prophecy and, and being aware what's going on around you. All right. Because this is the one of the main problems with the average American. They're not aware what's going on around them. Everything is about their everyday lives and, just peace, love, and happy, and going to party. Like here where I live, it's about time for school to start back. So all those college kids, they're coming back around. The streets are more busy now. There's more nights out. There's more people around here. More people crowded at the gas station. Things are more busy. It's going to be more businesses booming all over again because the kids are home, or not home because some of them, they stay here. But school is about to be back in. And that's all these people know about. All right, school, party, work, and I'm gonna follow my career. But what really matters is the things that's going on around this earth, especially things like this that are so close to home, because all these things affect you. Because a lot of these things that are happening are they're pretty much predecessors to the actual thing happening here on American soil. But people take these things for granted. Why? Because it's not on American soil. But the key word is yet. Land of Unwalled Villages. Let's go and play this video so you can go and get through it.
gonna be the stepping stone of all of this. You know what I mean? We gonna be the example. We the one gonna suffer. Like you said, is going to the next city, the next county, the next state. Yeah, we gotta stop. But I'm gonna let you know, us locals here, we're not gonna stop. We're gonna die fighting this big government.
Bold words.
We're gonna die making sure that they don't take away our lands.
You would be derelict in your duties as an American, as per the Constitution, if you did not fight any form of government that became oppressive to your inherent God-given inalienable rights, or a threat to your life, your liberty, or your property. Junya Nakoa, thank you so much for joining us live from Hawaii today. We appreciate it.
Now.
Have a good one. Yes, sir.
What if I told you there was a hostile alien species that controls your appetite, sleep, and focus? Invaders that urinate and defecate throughout your body whenever they are hungry.
Let's see here. Just want to see if
Victory.
It was a commercial. Just want to see if anything else is here.
Liberals are very upset that people like me are advertising the Vanish holster.
Yeah, it's more garbage.
Handguns. It works
All right, so
without a
that was
tactical
it for that
valve.
video. Just that particular news article. Excuse me. And once again, that was from Brighteon News. I might shut it down here, but I'm gonna see if I can back up real quick one time. See if I can find that other video, because I really wanted to find it. The Wet Fortress Descent on Maui. It's another video dealing with it, you see. You know, I mean, that's funny. That's a screenshot, that one. I think I'm gonna do it right now. Oh, I can't even put my screenshot up. It's okay. I'll use another screenshot for this video. Yeah. I probably won't be able to find. This is the video that we just watched right here. Maui to become globally smart city. Wealthy property owners somehow spared from vicious Maui fires, which they barely talked about it. They just interviewed some guy. But I mean, they talked about a couple of things here and there. I want to check what this video was about, you know, see if it was talking about anything. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, man. You know, articles come and go. I'm not saying this article disappeared. Excuse me. It's just not in my feed anymore, and I wanted to grab it, but I had to go and do something. And so when I opened my phone back up to unlock it, it was not, you know, in my original feed. But you see, there's a lot here, and you know, I don't necessarily always watch Brighteon. Every now and then when they, you know, have a decent video, I'll dig into it. Sometimes I'll post links. But you know, for now, I guess that'll be it. If I can find that other video, I'll go and check that one out and do something good. You know, through the spirit of power, you have a shop. That's what the spirit allows me to go into that one as well. But for now, Lord willing, you edify. Till next time, I'll say shalom.